So it's 9:15. We are at 100%. I have a swollen eye, but let's get the day started. Today, not only are we going to push the Z Flip 6 to its absolute limit because we have a 9-hour drive ahead of us. We're going to have this on data the entire time. Plus, I like to listen to YouTube, so that app is going to be running the entire drive as well. Plus, we're going to be stopping a few times because it's a Tesla. We got to charge up. And so while I'm charging, I'm obviously going to be on my phone a lot more. I'm not going to hit anyone. We're also going to be taking a few pictures. I'm going to be sharing with you guys the video quality, the photo quality, all of that good stuff from the Z Flip 6. So stay tuned for all of that. I'm taking literally all of my life savings in the back. My cameras, my C-stand, my lights, and my computer tower and monitor. Everything is back there. By the way, we're at 98% right now on the Z Flip. Okay, so just 10-11 a.m. This has to survive, okay? This really has to survive. And by the way, guys, the Z Flip 6 is not charging sitting here, okay? So it's not high enough. It doesn't sit high enough in the tray to wirelessly charge. So it just sits there. But as far as snacks are concerned, on this trip, I got 2 bottles of electrolyte. I'm on a somewhat of a diet, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to lose that weight, not gain that weight. You know what I mean? Alright, so we're coming up to the very first Tesla supercharger, but if you look at this guy, there is smoke. There is smoke. Did the supercharger blow up? What is that? They are burning something in that cemetery, guys. Or is that a fire? Well, why would there be a fire in a cemetery? Pulling up to the first Tesla stop, and as you can see, obviously the phone is still going. I've had this on the whole ride. We're about to just take a look and see exactly how much battery has gone. But before that, we got, oh, okay, there they are, all the Tesla stations. So far, we've been driving for about 3 hours, and the phone has been on the entire time. With mobile data and with my YouTube going, we are at 82%, and currently, it's 12:39 p.m. EST. So we've lost 18% of battery over about 3 hours of driving, and not to mention all of these notifications piling up. Yeah, I've got a lot of them going down. So at this point, we've got a 20-minute charge for the car. I do kind of really want to get some to eat. I'll have to go over their menu real quick though. So I just got myself some mac and cheese from Sheetz, but ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have to continue the trip because my charge is ready. I don't have any time to eat, but we're gonna eat in the second leg. So we have one more stop after this one. The phone's right here, and I've been taking videos and photos with this the whole time. We're at 79% right now. Again, this is about 3 hours and 30 minutes of driving. It's 1 p.m. almost, 12:52 p.m. EST. So let's get on with the second part of this trip and see exactly how far this phone can survive. And it's kind of not getting hot right now. I would expect on mobile data and with all these other apps that I've got going on, the Z Flip 5 got pretty hot at this point. At this point it would be hot, maybe it's the case, but we're gonna see how the second leg goes. Stay with me. So we've arrived at the second out of 3 legs of our trip, and it is almost 3 p.m. EST, and the phone, ladies and gentlemen, is at 61%. Now you have to understand that this is a phone that was on at 9 at 100%, and since 9 to 3 p.m, so almost 6 hours, it's been perpetually on. The display's been on, it's been on data, and it's been connected via Bluetooth. Now it hasn't been doing the most productivity, so I've not been like sending emails and opening 17 Chrome tabs. I haven't been doing that, but YouTube has been running, and I've got like YouTube open. Wait, how many apps do I have open? So I have YouTube, I have YouTube Studio, I have my open phone app, I have Airbnb open, I've got camera open, I've got Chrome open with 2 tabs, and I've got Gmail open, and I've got music open, and I've got Instagram open. We got a few actually, we got a lot going on the phone, okay? And I've been getting all kinds of notifications over my drive as well, text messages, emails, all of that. So everything's being synced, everything's been on. So far I am pretty satisfied because we're not even at 50%. This is 6 hours of screen time now. But another thing to note is that it isn't heating up either. It's not as hot at all. The display is cool. The display is chilled to the touch, and the phone itself, let me take off the case for a second. It's not heating up like I would expect, especially coming from something like the Z Flip 5, which would heat up very quickly. So overall, the battery has been fantastic. This last leg is going to be the final test for the battery of this phone. Okay, right now I'm using, okay, I'm sorry, let me get some glasses on so you don't have to deal with my swollen eyeball. Okay, so right now I'm recording with the Z Flip 6, and I'm also using the Z Flip 6 mic as well. So everything you hear right now is coming directly from the phone, and I'm using the inner-facing camera. I can't zoom in or out with this one, so this is basically all you get. Also need to do my beard. Like, I've got a lot to do when I get there. So this is the back-facing camera, and overall, I'm pretty impressed. I can literally tell while I'm recording exactly where the AI is kicking in to smooth things out, but it does so without draining or without smearing too much detail. I mean, you just saw that misfocus, but like, I'll look out and then I'll focus back in, and it does it pretty quickly. So the focus switch is pretty quick, but it doesn't have grain because there's a lot of dark spots down there in the photo or in the frame, but it's smearing or smoothing them out so you don't see too much grain on the bottom while keeping as much detail in the mac and cheese as possible. So you can see those. I can see some of the shops back there fixing the zoom. There we go. Zoom is pretty quick, so it does move the zoom pretty quickly. Citizens thing, and I'm gonna zoom out. So that's what that is. Overall, this is a major upgrade over the Z Flip 5. Just crossed into Ontario, and I'm dealing right now with data issues on my phone. As you can see, none of the YouTube videos are loading, and well, I just restarted the phone. I did the whole thing. Obviously I wasn't driving, obviously, and it still isn't connecting to the local data source, okay, the data provider. Now this happens every single time, and with every Android, specifically every Samsung device that I ever bring into Canada, every time I come in, it's a long process where it might take up to an hour before it realizes I'm in Canada. And the thing is, I have an iPhone. I've had iPhones in the past as well that I reviewed on the channel, and the iPhone with the same SIM and everything, same data plan, same SIM, iPhones switch immediately. Like, I don't even need to, you know, restart the device. I don't need to do any of that. It immediately does it for me. Like, as soon as I get into Canada, I get the text message, welcome to Canada, and it switches over to a local data provider. It's gonna be a process before I get data in Canada. Too bright. So we've made it. The final check-in on the phone. This is, remember, 9 hours total now of screen on time. So 9 hours of screen on time plus data, plus Bluetooth, plus YouTube. That was the main app that I was using the entire time, and then there were a bunch of other apps that were on in the background, like Open Phone, Gmail, Airbnb, and a bunch of others. And we're talking, still, it literally just changed. It was just 18%. It's now down to 17%. So it was just 18. It's down to 17. 9 hours later, and I still I haven't charged this a single time. There was a little tinge of charge that may have been the tray, the Tesla tray, maybe, but it looks like it was straight down from there, and honestly it looks so linear that I'm surprised. Usually it's not that linear. Usually if you look at now, obviously if you're using a bunch of different apps, it's not going to be so linear, but Samsung has a trend where the battery drain increases as you lose battery. So the lower end battery actually goes down even faster, but honestly from this chart we're not really seeing that. And as you can see, the biggest consumption was happening from YouTube, and the second biggest was happening from the camera, which I recorded a bunch of videos, took photos, so all of that was going on during the trip. And of course there was Chrome as well. According to the phone, the total calculated screen on time was 7 hours and 30 minutes, and total off was 3 hours and 13 minutes. I swear I did not get 3 hours of sleep. I got like 4, so I'm proper good. And obviously most of the battery usage happened after 9 a.m. That's when I woke up. That's when we got on our trip and started moving. So we can see most of that usage happening there. One UI Home was being used, Samsung Music, System UI, Google Play Services. All right, we got a bunch of apps, but these were all running in the background. But what's surprising is how quiet they are. They're all less than 1%. Most of them are less than 0.5%. And so I feel like it's that processor that's managing these quieter apps even better than before. Like, and by before I mean the Z Flip 5 and the Z Flip 4. In the previous gen, Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. 4,000 milliamp hours is pretty normal. I don't expect huge degradation in the first week. Generally, we see that degradation of the battery over a 6-month period. So we're going to be looking at that, 6 months from now, we'll make a video and we'll see that degradation happen. So what are the final thoughts about the Z Flip 6? I'm loving this so much right now. Okay, I'm gonna just put this down for a minute. Hands down, there is, I see it now, an upgrade in the battery. Now, obviously we weren't, like I said, we weren't pushing it like crazy today. We weren't going ham on all of the different productivity apps, but most of us are also not sitting there with the screen on for 9 hours straight on data, without any charging. With all the apps running in the background and primarily using YouTube as well as the camera and Airbnb. I don't know why Airbnb didn't show up. I was using that a lot to message my guests, but all of that was going on. And the main point was how well the processor was holding and managing the apps that were sleeping, the ones in the background, the ones that are quiet. And I feel like for most people, if we turn this into your usage, it's going to mean that most people are going to be easily able to get through the entire day without having to charge the phone. Maybe obviously, when you get, like, it's 17% right now, and it says it's estimated at 4 hours of screen on time still, but I don't believe that. I still think that's an overestimation, but even then, I do think that people can easily get throughout the entire day with the Z Flip 6 battery. Now, The camera, on the other hand, is surprisingly good as well. Both the video that we took during this trip as well as the camera itself, the photo quality is pretty good. I don't prefer the Ultra HD video. In order to capture as much detail as possible, it also adds grain to the image. And if we go back to the full HD version, what it does is it takes out that grain, kind of smears it down. We lose a little bit of detail, but it does look like a sharper image. It looks better overall without having to do any post-production. So in my opinion, the full HD is better than the Ultra HD, especially at 30p. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the trip. Now, as you can see right there, that's my Dior Gucci bag and it's leaking. So there's all water down there. I accidentally put a bottle of water in there that was not capped, and yeah, it wet the whole bag, so I just put it out to dry. Any tips, ladies and gentlemen, please let me know. I'm tired. I'm gonna go take a shower now. I'm gonna trim my beard, clean it all up, slice it, you know, style it as you do. That mac and cheese did not hit the spot. It did not hit the spot. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some like shawarma or sushi. I'm still up deciding. But I hope this brought you some value. If it did, of course, please smash the subscribe button. And until next time, take it easy. Peace.